Exactly.
What is wrong with our mentality as Africans when it comes to appreciating our own?
So we are our own enemies of progress, but I think it's a process.
Do you think that people are aware of something like this, or they just look down upon it?
Thank you for saying that.
If you had to look at Africa in general, what are the things that we should change to better our lives?
I think we should love ourselves first. We've been taught to despise ourselves, our color, our complexion, our features. Let's first love who we are, our products, our food, our sads, our Rio. Hey, speaking of Rio, do you eat Rio?
Yeah, I do. So is there a market for this? Like a huge one?
There's a huge market and it's growing.
I have a friend of mine who I recently interviewed, and he mentioned, you know what, if your friend or your own people have a business, even your family have a business, you don't go there ask for a discount. You are one person who should go there and pay in.
These are all natural colors. These are roots that have been taken from the ground. So what can be done? We tell their stories. Stories are powerful marketing tools.
Wow. What are you doing here? Like, this is interesting, and I should probably say this. A lot of people don't expect Zimbabweans to do this because they don't see a business out of it. That is why I had to ask, are you Zimbabwean?
I am very Zimbabwean, and this has been a culmination of a journey, a purpose quest. Where my husband is a banker, so he moves from country to country. And so I call myself a trailing spouse.
Okay.
So with this all the movement, I've had to reinvent myself each time we've gone to places. So how this started is we were in Swaziland, Eswatini now, and again looking for something to do, but knowing deep down that I really have a passion for crafts and arts and that sort of thing. So I had an opportunity to join a company called TechnoServe, and at that point they were focusing on handcraft development. And because after agriculture, handcraft is the biggest income generator for women at the grassroots level. So it's agriculture, then handcraft. That's where the money comes from.
I had no idea.
Yes. So one of the biggest challenges with handcraft is women know how to sew, to weave, to knit, to crochet. Those are skills women traditionally would teach their children and children. Things have changed now. So those artisans are very skilled. But the challenge is they don't know what's trending. They don't know what someone in Harare, may like, someone in Italy, someone in the US, because they have no access to the internet. They have no access to color. So in the end, they just make things, and maybe the things are sent to some markets elsewhere, and they become price takers. They just take whatever price you give them.
So how did you see a business out of this?
So what happened then is I have a heart for women at the in the.
So most of these things are made by women.
Well, made by women. So like I said, the business opportunity came about when I saw that when women have a platform where they can do design, they can learn design, they can learn pricing and so on. The skills are there already. So we now are the connector. We the bridge. The gap. So because the women are there, we will go to the village sometimes, and
so you go out there.
Yes. Chibi, Berejena, all those areas, Lupane, we are there. So we go. So our model is we partner with international designers, local designers who already are experts in that field, and then we sit at a table. And for me, one of the things that inspires me is the women. They have so much knowledge, so much wisdom. So we sit at the table and we say, okay, ladies, we are here, and so we want to design a new technique for your baskets, because maybe they've been making the same baskets. So we're like, okay, we want to have a new technique, a new color. So I remember the last time I was there, we were talking about this color ombre, and then the women are sitting under the trees, we are sitting on our mats, and we say, okay, the theme will be ombre, because this is what's trending. We've been seeing this is what's trending, and so they'll create something like that. Oh, this is a new, the colors now are not the usual bold black, red, yellow. Sometimes our colors are not quite appealing to the Western market. They want something that's more muted, more, the teals and colors like that. So we go for it. We're all about color. So that's basically this business model is that we are the bridge, we're the gap. So we go to the village, we share whatever It is, whether it's design skills or a channel, maybe a buyer from another country wants to come and meet with the women, and then they say, I want to do this specific design for myself, and I'll ship them off to Italy.
So is there a market for this? Like a huge one?
There's a huge market, and it's growing. Because now with these fast products, that are, they have no soul. There's no, when you get a product that, there's a story to it. If you look at those hands, this is what inspires us. You look at a product that's made by those beautiful hands.
So this
is one of the weavers.
This is art.
Yes.
On its own, like just the picture.
Yeah. I'm inspired by hands. I love, hands that show, the story. This is a woman, hard-working woman's hands. The lines tell you the story of the journey of making things, providing for their children. You see it in the hands. I'm not talking these in manicure. I'm talking about real.
Another thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about women in general, especially women in the rural areas. They work so hard sometimes. And seeing something like this, that is why I say this is art.
It's beautiful.
You are there being the bridge, appreciating women, of which most of the time they are not given that space. How has it been so far, you working with women in the rural areas, and what can be done to give them their space to showcase their talent?
So a lot of things to unpack there. So I remember growing up, I would see women getting up early in the morning to fetch water, to cook, to clean, and then make time to make something, whether it's a basket or a jersey or whatever, and sell it. And when that money came, that money would go a long way. You found that, even with the ladies, they were like, if I can just make $20, then I can buy mafuta, I can buy, whatever, pay school fees, uniform, yemwana, and all those things. So we found that when we have a situation where we come, like one of the groups, they'll say that, like say this group that does the baskets, the Nzele baskets, all their earnings go straight to pay school fees. So it's a group, they've come together, they say, whatever we make from here, pay school fees. So we found that when the women have this money, it goes a long way. It goes a long way in empowering the community. So what can be done? We tell their stories. Stories are powerful marketing tools. Stories are powerful. We all have stories. Like me, I'd love to hear your story. And your story will even inspire me more to say, I want to watch me. I'll make sure, on your channel. But these stories are so important because then these stories, you find that when you start learning the stories, that basket has your history in it. The patterns are communicating something. Maybe the heels that our forefathers
That's really interesting,
the heels that our
being made by women.
Yes. And then so even the story, these are roots, this black. These are all natural colors. These are roots that have been taken from the ground. These are petals.
You mean like natural colors?
Yes, these are natural colors. So unless you see the blues, like these are not.
Oh, okay.
These are not natural. This blue is not natural. It's a dye that's been purchased. But this is a natural color. This is sisal. This is the natural color of sisal. And then this is from the tree. We have the tree there, the flowers, the yellow flowers.
Wow.
You make the dye, you put in there.
Yeah.
You see. So these patterns mean something. They just, if you ask the story, what does this mean? Maybe it was the mountains that they climbed to get water.
Exactly.
So we tell the stories.
Amazing.
That's what we do.
So I want to talk about your market. Is it local or international?
So it's both. Yeah, but we don't coordinate exporting. The market is local. We have a lot of expats, NGOs, and that's how we position strategically so we can capture that audience. Wow. And of course, part of the selling is telling the story.
What you're doing here is amazing. Do you think that people are aware of something like this, or they just look down upon it?
Thank you for saying that. People are aware and they also look down upon it. Do you know the challenge I find when people come in? So and it makes me sad that our own people don't appreciate the workmanship here, because people will come in, locals, our people, and the attitude is like, this basket is this amount of money. My grandmother can make it. No, I'm not paying that amount of money. And I've tried making this, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Tears, because you know you've got to try and
Exactly, you see, yeah.
and just the skin and the hair is coming out, and then they'll say, oh yeah, no, my grandmother can make this mat, and but whereas you find someone from overseas will come and say, how long did it take to make this line? And you said, it took days. And then the second attitude is like, as soon as people walk in here, excuse me, they'll be like,
yeah, it's okay.
I want a discount. Before we talk, I said, do you go to Pick and Pay or whatever?
And ask for a discount?
And ask for a discount. You say, okay. Do you go to, the Chinese market and you say, oh yeah, the malls that are coming up, do you say, oh, I want a discount? And I'm like, why are you disrespecting? Then the third challenge is, you're told, how much are you giving back to the women? Like, so people see it as a way of manipulating the women. You're like, you're just making these things go in containers and the women are not even getting much money. And that's so sad because, like, okay, you do it. You know what I'm saying? You do
easy.
it. So it's not easy, So this is actually a temporary location because we actually want to move into a bigger space where we can do more things with the women. Because the challenge is when we go to the village, it's fine. We stay with them. We sometimes sleep in the car, but when they come to Harare, it becomes expensive because when you're doing product development, you want to make sure that you have a space for them to stay as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just.
Another thing that I want to talk about, you mentioned that people would come here and ask for a discount. I have a friend of mine who I recently interviewed, and he mentioned, you know what, if your friend or your own people have a business, even your family have a business, you don't go there ask for a discount. You are one person who should go there and pay in full.
Exactly.
What is wrong with our mentality as Africans when it comes to appreciating our own?
I think we got independence, but the independence also the freedom. Freedom from racial segregation. We also need a freedom of our minds, because even in our homes you find a lot of times we rather have Italian tiles. Why not have look at this rug? Why not have beautiful rugs? Made from products that are so well thought out, that are organic.
This is amazing.
You can have a whole rug like this in this room made with that.
Imagine.
So we are our own enemies of progress, but I think it's a process. I think we'll get there. We'll get there. We are still, and we have a lot of baggage that we're still, going through and becoming better people. I think as well, where we appreciate who we are, we know our history, our identity, and we embrace that.
The courage it takes for you to actually and have the audacity to come up with this and make it a business, especially in Africa, it's really difficult. I wanted to ask, like, in terms of business, what are your principles that you imply for things to go well?
Respect. We respect, because again, one of the first things I said is we have a situation where we have people from overseas. And we're not saying, we're going to the village, so therefore we are just going to be working with the random women. These are artisans. They're experienced handcraft artisans. We respect their craft. So the first one is respect. It's integrity. Integrity that when we get their money, we'll make sure they are paid their monies. You see. Most of the products we buy, we pay in advance. But there's some, like the baskets, sometimes, we don't know what will be bought and we don't want to be having, so that integrity is like, we have to have a relationship where the women know they're getting their money, right? And then also, I think the thing is valuing who we are. We value who we are, we value who the women are, we value our buyers, and by the value, we tell the stories through the product.
You're telling African stories through what you're doing right now, and it's really amazing. If you had to look at Africa in general, what are the things that we should change to better our lives?
I think we should love ourselves first. Let's appreciate who we are. Let's appreciate, because we've been taught to despise ourselves, our color, our complexion, our features. Let's first love who we are, our products, our food, our sads, our Rio. Hey, speaking of Rio, do you eat Rio?
Yeah, I do.
Like I fight with some people like, no, that brown stuff is primitive. Guys, do you know that's what we were eating originally before the maize came with the Spanish or whoever it is? So now Sadza is champion. that, Rio, that's what we should be eating.
How's Uganda?
Uganda is such a vibrant economy. So there's two. Uganda and Zimbabwe are total opposites because you find, when you get to Uganda, you hold your breath and dive in because it's noisy, color, borders, motorbikes everywhere. Everyone's hustling.
No borders.
Yeah. So now I always say, Uganda is called Kampala. I think after the Impalas. But Harare, we're called Harare. Yeah. But I'm like, we should swap names because Harare, people are asleep. By 8 p.m. the roads are empty. Whereas in Kampala it's coming alive. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I mean Harare. Whenever I'm driving around here,
the streets are empty.
The streets are by 7 p.m. You don't want to be walking on the streets.
So in Kampala,
that's when it comes alive. That's when the pulse is pulsing. And it teaches you, it teaches you to really stretch yourself, to learn, to, so many opportunities. And I just love Kampala. So it's my second home. Between Harare and Kampala, I just dive right in and enjoy what both sides have to offer.
Seems like you see potential in Africa.
Africa, this is the place. This is it. This is it.
But we don't see those opportunities.
Let me tell you, this is the place you want to be. I mean, we have the resources, we have the talent, the skill, and the Ubuntu, the friendliness, and that just oneness. This is the place. And so I feel like with all that's been happening, our history as Africans, those values have been eroded. I feel like that's what was being targeted at. Let's divide because your nose is straighter than mine.
Yeah.
No, we have a division, and so these things. I think now people are becoming aware that there's so much. Young people who've been going overseas and staying there and are like, actually, I'm going to go and it may be hard. I'm going to set up. I'm going to push, and I'm going to do what God has given me.
I mean, you have what? Dresses?
Yeah.
And shirts?
We have shirts, we have dresses, we have beads. These are made from paper. We have little toys.
Made from paper?
Yes, these are made from paper.
Elephants. Oh, you have this home also? I'm definitely going home with this.
That's our gift to you.
Oh! But I want to support.
Yeah, you can get her some earrings.
Yeah, definitely.
Does she wear?
Yeah, she does.
Something. You choose.
She does. I'll buy something. Yeah. I have to.
Thank you. We appreciate this.
Oh, amazing. From what? From paper?
From paper, yes. This is paper. This is
no way.
Yeah, upcycled magazines. Just rolled and made into.
This is unique.
But this is lutein. This is a special grass. It's a rare grass. This product is actually a group.
What about this one? Are these original colors or you had
No. So these are actually dyes, like the red especially and the browns. So this is a product from a company we started off with. I started off with Swaziland.
Yeah.
Gone rural. So we have few products from Swaziland, from Uganda. Yeah.
True. What are your words of encouragement to anyone who is watching this video and would want to start a business in general? It could not be this, but just your words of encouragement to people watching.
Yeah. So I don't want to underestimate the challenges we face, the hurdles we face in shipping, in trying to set up businesses and paying licenses.
Yeah.
It is tough.
True.
But like when I spoke to you when we first met, I said to you, your channel is so inspiring. And I said to you, perseverance.
True.
Being consistent, persevering, pacing yourself, because you don't want to just go from zero to hero.
True.
You've got to go through the hard knocks and just study an environment. When you go somewhere, study the environment, respect wherever the local authorities are. If it's the chief, we used to do it. If it's the chief, you need to go and say, Chief, we are here and there.
Exactly.
We're doing this. Please understand who we are. We respect you, and so on. Respect the local people, because people coming from overseas sometimes think, I'm going to come and wow the people. They don't know what they're doing. Respect the people who've been on the ground.